Somehow, some way, the Eagles get it done. They're 8-1 heading into the bye. Is this the best team in the NFL? We'll talk about that and a whole bunch more coming up. What is up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Philly. Do me a favor, hit the like button on this video, subscribe if you're new, and drop a comment down below right now. I want to know, are you impressed with this win last night? Are you dissatisfied? I am seeing some crazy perspectives on this game this morning, mostly coming from the Cowboy Nation, who lost, right? At the end of the day, they lost. Final score 28-23. They go down, and they could not get the job done, even though the Eagles were literally trying to hand them the game on a silver platter. I got all my frustrations out last night, and the way I'm feeling now after the post-game show is, you know what? Eagles got it done. They win, and now they can go and correct some things, get healthy. So we will talk about all of it, some major injury updates on the way as well. But before we jump into it, a shout out to our sponsor of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up with the code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with the bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Speaking of BetMGM, we didn't get it this week. AJ went under. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Who cares? The Eagles win. The Cowboys are losers. They are complaining. All I'm seeing across my whole feed this morning, oh, the Eagles shouldn't be allowed to do the tush push. Oh, the Eagles cheated. Oh, the refs were on the side of the Eagles. Shut up. Shut up. Blatantly. Plainly. Just like that. Shut up. Like, the Eagles literally tried to give the Cowboys a chance to win this game. That last drive, go back and watch the post-game show. I don't even remember every play on that possession. It literally took about 4.5 years off my life last night. Eagles, you have to stop doing that. That's what you need to stop doing, is putting us through those type of heart attacks. But anyway, the Eagles get the dub, and as the Eagles Twitter page says, called a case of the Victory Monday. More often than not, even though we may not be satisfied, even though I don't even know if the Eagles have played one complete game other than maybe one in all three aspects, you know, they keep winning. They're 8-1. They are 8-1, sitting atop the NFC, sitting atop the NFL. Look at this photo, man. This is cold. Like, this is iconic. I would frame this photo. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, both of them punching it in yesterday. What a game for Jaylen Herz and the offense. Brian Johnson called his best game of the year. Jaylen Herz, even though he got rolled up on and was limping around, we didn't know if he was coming out in the second half, gets it done, makes throw after throw. And honestly, even though the numbers don't show it, even though the Cowboys outscored the Eagles when it came to yardage and yards per play and all this other stuff, to me, Jaylen Herz played his best game of the year. He did not turn the ball over. This Cowboys team was ferocious in takeaways, and he did not make the bad mistake. So shout out to Jaylen Herz. What a game he had. And the Eagles are now just the fourth team in the last 30 years to start 8-1 in consecutive seasons. The other teams each won a Super Bowl, the Colts, the Broncos, and the Cowboys. In fact, that's probably the last time the Cowboys did anything relevant because they stink. I mean, I am seeing all these takes this morning. Oh, Dak Prescott played his best game. And he did. Dak Prescott played his best game. You know what that tells me? Dak gave it his best shot, and the Cowboys still couldn't sniff the Eagles. They are not in the Eagles' level. They are not in the Eagles' territory. The Eagles are levels, miles beyond the Dallas Cowboys, and that is a fact. I don't know how the Cowboys didn't punch it in. I mean, they literally had the game. They're going right down the field. Penalty, 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 miss, playing soft coverage. Boom. It's right in front of you. Couldn't get it done. Dak Prescott takes a sack. Eagles defense makes the first big play of the game. Shout out to BG. Finally getting up in there. And, yeah, man, this game to me shows that the Cowboys are not even close to the Eagles. And when you look at the conference, okay, let me tell you why this game was so big yesterday. The Eagles are now much more likely to get, obviously, the division, become the first repeat winner, but also that conference, man. They are now 8-1. They are above the Lions by a game and a half. They are above the Niners, and they now at least could, you know, are at least going to split with Dallas at the worst, right? They could beat them and Dallas go 2-0. but they're better than all these teams. The Seahawks got absolutely exposed yesterday, and the San Francisco 49ers have looked faulty. Right now, honestly, Dallas may even look like the second best team in the NFC right now, and if they are, that shows me that the Eagles are levels beyond these teams, man. We saw how important it was last year to get that number 1 seed, and the Eagles are going to need it again this year, especially to get healthy before the playoffs, and that's why that game yesterday was so huge. Even though it was ugly, even though there's a lot that needs to be corrected, and yes, it wasn't pretty, they got the big win against their rival, and they really made some leaps here in the conference standing. So let's talk about some injuries. Unfortunately, we saw that play yesterday. Dallas Goedert got his arm twisted. He is expected to have surgery on a forearm fracture injury, which sucks. I knew when he went down, the way he was like holding his arm and then trying to twist it and got up, he walked off. I mean, you knew it was something bad. Now, Ian Rappaport says the return timetable is probably going to be about 4 weeks and will likely hit the short-term IR. So at least you avoided something major, but going into these toughest games, you want to have a weapon like Dallas Goedert. So now the Eagles are going to have to scramble and try to figure some things out. I don't know if Jack Stoll and Albert O can really hold down the fort, but they might have to figure some things out. Hopefully Dallas Goedert gets better, man. And Jaylen Herz talked about this bye week coming up. He says, quote, selfishly, I don't think the bye could have come at a better time. Jaylen's hurting, man. The way that he stayed in that game and made some of those throws and hit AJ on that one play. And I mean, those were dimes. And Jaylen already is not feeling the best. He's already been playing through injury. And after that last night, I don't know how he stayed in, but what a tough soldier, man. What a tough soldier. This is going to be key for Jaylen Herz and some of these other guys to get healthy. One position the Eagles definitely need to get healthy in is slot corner. Obviously, they've lost Devontae Maddox. They've lost pieces, but they went and picked up Bradley Roby. He got hurt after 1 week. They need him back. Eli Ricks did not have a good game last night via PFF. 4 targets, 4 catches, 72 yards. And, man, it was not his night. Now, I will say you're going up against one of the toughest slot targets in the league in CeeDee Lamb. He had almost 200 yards. And it was tough. They were trying to throw some different pieces out there. No offense against Eli Ricks. I think he's a good upcoming player, right? He's a guy you take a gamble on, and he's a body in there, right? And he's played decent. But the Eagles will need to address this, and I hope Bradley Roby can be that solidified piece when he comes back from injury. Going to need him back. Going to need Cam Jurgens back. Shout out to Tyler Steen. If you thought he would ever make the impact he did, recovering that late fumble, somehow Swift runs into A.J. Brown. It was a mess, that last drive. I don't even want to think about it. And shout out to Tyler Steen, but the Eagles need Cam Jurgens back. Darius Slay against the Cowboys via PFF, 10 targets, 6 catches, 79 yards. Darius Slay and James Bradbury have not played up to par. Now, I really like both of them. I'm glad the Eagles prioritize getting those guys back. They need to step up. One thing I will give Slay credit in is that at the end of the game, they said that he went to Sean Desai or whoever and said, put me on CeeDee Lamb, right? That's what a leader does. That's what an all-pro corner does. Even if he loses the battle, he says, go put me out there in crunch time, on prime time, against the biggest, target and weapon in the biggest moments. Let me go try to make a play. And I'm glad he did that. Early in the game, Sean Desai was kind of shuffling, but not really, moving guys onto Lamb as he was moving around pre-snap. And I'm glad that Slay went out there and said, yo, I got this. So we will see how these guys continue to mesh. Obviously, the defense needs a lot of work. Sean Desai let Dak Prescott, again, throw it around all day, all afternoon, just like he did with Sam Howell. The defense will need to step up, but they finally got to him late in this game. Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, and Jalen Carter all with sacks late, and that is how, you win this game. Nobody turned the ball over. There were a couple fumbles, right? But nobody really turned the ball over at a high clip, so it was going to be who could score last and who could make that one defensive play, and that is what the Eagles did. And they win this game, and I feel very confident because now, even if they go out and say lose to Kansas City or they lose to Buffalo or whoever, right? You feel better that you got this first one under your belt. Now it's not like, oh, you lost 2 in a row and now you're playing the Niners or the Buffalo Bills, whatever. So I'm glad the Eagles got this done. The Dallas Cowboys are not close to the Eagles. The Eagles are the best team in the NFC. I would say they're top 2 or top 3 in the NFL because the Ravens are playing really good ball right now. The Chiefs are obviously there. but I think the Eagles can hang with anybody. And the fact that it still feels like they haven't played their best game. And the fact that they're 8-1 shows how much talent this team has. And if they can get some of these things corrected, now you're starting to see the offense put it together. This team can be really good, get really hot heading into the playoffs and try to make another run. So those are my thoughts. Give me yours down below in the comments section. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. How do you feel about the Birds sitting at 8-1? Are you confident in this team? Let me know down below. Be sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.